Happy sunshine winter days. Got my sunglasses on. It's a little bit cloudy, but I always put my sunglasses on days like this because the sun just beats down into your eyes. Um, so my little adventures today. I'm going to brave the M&S food hall, which is one of my biggest stressors. Like, to many people might think, what are you on about, Kath? But I get really stressed out doing food shopping, especially if there's a lot of people. It just overwhelms me, and that's since I've been ill. Really, I've really struggled to go in big places with lots of people, and it's really just one of those things that I've had to brave today because I need food, and I need to go get some milk and some fridge stuff. But that's not why I came on here today, even though everybody battles their own things that maybe they're afraid of, or maybe that cause them anxiety, maybe it causes you panic, maybe you're disabled like me and just the thought of having your food shopping thrown at you down the bottom of the conveyor belt causes you stress because you can't pack it quick enough. Really simple, silly things that affect us, but they're our day-to-day life and they're our day-to-day struggles, and it really is okay to have these struggles. You're a human being, and I think what's wrong with the online world is people just aren't real. They're not real, and I pride myself on being a realistic life coach. Because you don't get the title of a life coach if you can't actually talk about life. And the reality of life is we have about 20 different emotions, and each and every one of us will ride through every one of those emotions at some point in our lives. And for some people, more people struggle with anxiety, even more so now in this modern day life of technology and people comparing their lives to other people, and people thinking that you have to be this and you have to be that on social media, and you just don't. You just have to be yourself, and as long as you're being yourself, then that's all you can do. And there's so much technology now with AI and stuff, and everything's just been so digitalized that people are actually losing themselves. They're losing who they are, they're losing their personality. The big buzzword of be your authentic self all over social media, but people aren't being their authentic self. People are pretending to be things that they're not for the sake of how it looks on social media, and I pride myself on not being one of those people. I just think, just be yourself. The good days, the bad days, the up days, the down days, the anxiety days, the days where if you've got fibromyalgia like me, you're in pain, a lot of the time, and trying to consistently be positive every day just isn't realistic. You can't be positive all day, every day. That's just not how our emotions work. We have negative emotions. That's how our brain is programmed, with negative emotions. So it really is okay to feel those emotions. But I haven't really come on to talk about emotions today, but that's just how it's kind of flowed. But I wanted to talk about when you're building your business, and I had a really great coaching session yesterday with one of my clients, and we were really honing in on what she wanted from her business and why she wanted to set this business up and how it was going to go, and to get some clarity around it. And one of the things that came up, which comes up for quite a lot of people, is people want to ditch the 9 to 5, but yet are you just ditching the 9 to 5 to go into a stressful business and be working full time in your business 5 days a week, just replacing your 9 to 5 and still continuing with the stress of having a full-time job? Because this comes up a lot, and for me, I don't want a full-time job. I don't want a 5 day a week business. That's not what I want, because I'll end up being back in the same situation I was when I was working full time before. You know, the point of me setting my business up in 2018 was so I could work around my disabilities, and so that when I am unwell, I can still work from my bed on calls and messages, especially more so now I've gone online. It was less so when I had a face-to-face business and I was doing face-to-face clients, but even still, my business plan was to work 3 days a week, so I have the rest of the time to myself to rest and recoup and not end up burning myself out like I did working 60-hour weeks in 2 jobs, struggling with my health and my mental health, and completely working myself down into the ground to the point where I had to really stop, and I had to give my job up, and I was signed off long-term sick. You know, so it's really important to think about, what is the business that you're creating? What is it that you're creating? What is it that you truly fully want? You know, do you just want to work part-time in your business and work 3 or 4 days a week and have the rest of the time to really enjoy yourself and to have the holidays that you want and to have the days of luxury where you can just, I suppose, do what I'm doing today? I'm going to a food shop, but I'm just going to nip into the coffee shop and I'm going to go and have a coffee. You know, do you just want to have days where you can just book into the spa and go for a spa day, or you can just book a spontaneous day trip out with your family? You know, what is it that you actually want? Because you can create whatever you actually want. There's no limit on it, and I think a lot of people put limit onto it because we're programmed into the 9 to 5 programming. That's what we've been programmed all our life to think and to feel and to believe. But now you know different. Now you know that you can create something completely different on your terms and how you want it to look, and you don't have to follow the crowd and think that you have to have a full-time 9 to 5 business again just because you're working online. That's not really the point. That's not the point of everybody wanting freedom. That's not the point of everyone being on this journey and wanting to have a more freedom-based lifestyle. Freedom-based lifestyle means that you get to work however many hours you want, and then the rest of the time when you're not working is free time to do what you want to do and to go where you want to go and to have more time with your family, whether that be, if you've got young children, to have time with your children at home, or just have that time on a weekend that you maybe haven't got because you're cleaning your house on a weekend and you're rushing around doing all the jobs that you haven't done during the week because you're working full time. Whereas if you're working part time from home, you've got more time at home to do those jobs that you want to do that you wouldn't get done if you were going out to work. There's so many components to it, and it's just important, I thought, to get on today and just say, you know, really think about what it is you actually want. What do you actually want? What is your dream business? Is it just to work 3 or 4 days a week, working from 10 o'clock maybe till 5 or 6 o'clock, and then that's it, and then you've got three or 4 days a week to do whatever you want? You know, just really get clear on what it is you want, and also get clear on how much money that you actually want to earn and that you need to earn is another thing. You know, how much money do you actually need to earn as a basic to pay all your bills and to have your luxuries? How much is that? Because a lot of people aren't clear on that either. You know, how much do you actually need to earn from your business every month on a regular basis to have all your bills paid and to have your life's luxuries? And that was something that I read even more so in a Tony Robbins book, and in his book he talks about finances and how much you need to earn and how much you need to live your life comfortably, and a lot of us don't think of that either. So You know, for me, at the minute, I only need to earn £500 a month for me to live my life as I want to live it. If I want to have a car and be able to afford a car, I need to earn between £2,500 and £3,000 a month. So I know that that's my bigger goal, is to earn that amount of money. So just a few little tips today on being yourself, the good days, the bad days, getting over some fear hurdles if you've got anxiety, and really thinking and honing in on what you want to do in your business, how you want your business to run, and how much money that you need to earn. So have a great day, everyone. Speak to you soon.